Good evening.
Hello.
Why'd you just say that like a vampire?
Good evening. Welcome to Literarily Wasted. It is the August of 31st, and it is time for us
31st?
to discuss the second half or the whole book of the first in the Scythe, whatever series of books called
Me?
Scythe.
Yes.
You're struggling right now.
I am struggling so
We
much.
just started.
Oh, and really quick, Mariah, tell us your dad's name so that Talia can put him in the song.
Yes, we have
I know, I saw your comment was so sweet.
Mariah's dad is here.
I
And
love this.
We are so happy to have the both of you.
Yeah, what's his name?
So everybody welcome Mariah's dad. And
we read a book.
We did.
and Talia,
Some of
who's
y'all
here?
read- Okay. William or Bill?
Ooh, you can do
Hi.
Oh, she
Oh, no.
froze
And
up.
Mariah's dad. His name is William or Bill. Hi, Leanne and Cindy and Brady and Jennifer. Brady again and Giggles. Hi, Kelly, Marianne, Carrie and Willa. Tim and Judy and Henry. Hi, Tammy and Giggles and Ashley and Tiffany and Matt, Missy, Stacy, Martin, Jean, Julie, Turner, Sean, Tara, Kent, Spare, Philip, Kira, Natalie, Matt, Kelly, Martin, Mirig. Oh, I did the thing.
Oh.
You did the thing. You broke.
Jean, Leanne, Sean, Natalie again. And Leanne,
And,
Tiffany, and Tara.
Julie,
Hi,
if
hello.
you're still here, please
Whew.
recover swiftly from your COVID.
Oh, Tim has COVID too.
Tim, no.
Oh, no.
Hope you recover swiftly as well.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry y'all are not feeling good. Thank you for being here, at least popping up and showing up.
Eat them cough drops.
Feeling better soon. But hi to
Hi.
everybody. And okie dokie.
This already feels weird. This might be a weird one.
Oh, I am
He's-
delirious.
he's in a weird
AF.
place.
I am running on fumes. It's gonna be good for y'all because I will be some kind of entertaining. And the good news is that I probably won't even remember. I probably won't remember anything about this.
I guess there's no possible way, Christy, that we could get like a general idea of what kind of happened in the second half for those
Why?
who
Why,
read ahead to
Talia?
the. Okay,
Why would
it's
we-
not for me. It's for Leanne. It's for Leanne. I saw that Leanne finished Thunderhead. That's why. It's definitely not because I'm already finished Thunderhead and I'm currently reading the third book, which is called The Toll. I remember what happens at the very end. I do.
Let's see.
No, we have made Mariah's dad's William or Bill's.
William
Yeah.
or Bill is over the moon.
William or Bill, we're so happy to have you.
Okay, I'll do a tiny recap, even though I was not prepared for this.
It's okay. You're so good at this. I believe in you.
Okay, so they chose Citra.
Boom.
Citra's the one,
Spoiler alert.
and she was about to reap him,
Ooh.
Rowan, just
Green,
like
Gleam.
Glean. Oh, ha. I finished this like 2 days ago, so I really should know that. She was about to glean him just like she was supposed to, but she decided to pay him back for breaking her neck and being such a jerk. So she punches him in the face with her ring hand.
Did she get the blood on the
Here's
ring?
our slow-mo. Her slow-mo.
Perfect.
That's exactly how
And
I.
it cut his face and it got blood on the ring, which gave him immunity for the next year, which she had no idea was going to happen. And then they were going to
I'm not high. I promise.
He's not high. He just chugged chocolate milk before the.
Oh, it feels bad. It feels
Chugged
so
a piece of
bad.
chocolate milk. It has the same effect.
It
Okay,
feels
so
real bad.
so they were going to imprison him for a year, but he got away, and none other but Scythe Faraday was in the getaway car. And then they mentioned that after
Scythe Anastasia.
Oh yeah, she
Right.
decided her name was Scythe Anastasia to make a point. And he there was a rumor that someone in a black robe was punishing
Scythe
people.
Lucifer.
Yes, Scythe Lucifer.
They don't take black, right? Like
they don't
Yeah.
wear it
They don't
because
wear
it's
It's
too
cliche.
scary.
According to the rumor, there is someone out there who is seeking out corrupt, despicable scythes and ending their existence by fire.
It's like the Batman of Scythe.
One thing is certain, he's not an ordained scythe, and yet people have started to call him Scythe Lucifer.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's the best. That's the best. Yeah, Tiffany, we're in that boat sailing on that chocolate river, and
Whoa.
that sounded bad.
Chocolate makes you weird.
Scythe.
So, what did you think of it?
I really liked it, and I have self-control, so I did not go on to the next book. But I'm probably going to start this week. I'm really excited about it. I also love the way it ended. We will talk about that, but like I love that Rowan is going and being Scythe Batman.
Scythe Batman.
That's just so
Scythe
great.
Man. Right.
Scythe Man. That's very generic. The most generic Scythe. I am Scythe Man.
Yeah. Oh, also, you guys can of course always read on. There's no hate. I'm just giving Talia a hard time because I like doing
Yeah, she is.
that.
I also really enjoy this book. I think that throughout the book, like I was into it. I was having a good time. But man, that ending, holy moly! There was just a lot of things going on, a lot of sort of twists and reveals that felt really good because I didn't find it predictable. And it was just a lot of fun. Like the climax of the book, starting from about when Citra was being accused of murder to when she left and discovered that Scythe Faraday was still alive, and everything from then on was just like hit after hit after hit. And I was like, I was in for the ride at that point. And so like, I had a really good time, and it was fun. It was, it wasn't too much of a dense read. It was like a good sort of like easy to read, but like fun to think about kind of story. So yeah, I liked it. I really liked it. It was really good. I liked it.
Okay.
It was.
Okay, real quick. I have a response to Mike.
Really liked it.
Mike just asked, "What's so special about fire that makes it irrecoverable?" Okay, it's because it's fire in general. It's fire changes the nature of something.
Changes the chemical.
Yes.
Composition.
So just like fire changes wood to ash. So whenever you take someone's remains to a recovery center, you at least have what you're trying to put back together, right? What you're trying to fix. But fire destroys utterly. And if something is utterly destroyed, how do you put that back together? Like you cannot fix that.
Loved what Rowan did to Scythe Goddard and Friends.
Was not expecting that. We'll definitely talk about that, but let's let Talia and Lucas tell us how they felt about the book.
That's just thinking of fire.
I did say so. I used like this dumb little like toy thing for the reminder picture for whoever did see that. But just know, I almost did a little bowl, and I was like looking through the house, and I was like, I wonder if we have Barbies. You just pull off like a Barbie head and stick it in the bowl and put it next to it. But I didn't. It's fine. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, you're done?
What? No, I didn't talk about the book.
Oh,
Do you want me to?
sure.
Okay, so I obviously really liked it because I then read the second book and now have started the third book, which I won't talk about because I can control myself to some degree. Hey, kinda. Okay. So obviously, like if you joined us for the first discussion, I had some like waffly feelings about the first half. I was very intrigued and I was very interested, but like the first half was so dark and it really does set the tone for this world. But like because of that, I was kind of struggling with how I felt about the book, while very much enjoying reading it. I was just confused. I liked the second half so much more than the first. Totally sucked in. Like, I mean, I think I kind of might have blown through the second half in like 2 sittings before, and then immediately picked up the next book. So I was telling you, this is, even though I know we have read things in the past, however many months, that are better than this, if that makes sense. I know that they are technically a better book, but I don't know that I've enjoyed a book as much as this one in a minute. I can't get more specific than that because I'd have to like look and go back in time and look at all the things. And I have like enjoyed so much of what we've read, but especially as a series as a whole, really, really digging this whole world and these characters. Absolutely. That's all.
Yeah. This is the first time in a long time that as soon as I finished the book, I went and downloaded the rest of the series. So
Whoa,
I don't know
Lucas.
when I will get to them, but
Right now, after this.
but I really truly did like this. This is definitely up there in my upper echelon of books that we read. And yeah, there's some holes, there's some angst, but I don't know. It was just a really good, fun, junk foodie read for me that yeah, I liked all the characters. I liked, it was unique scenarios that they got put into and a good, good couple of twists, I think, at the end. But yeah, I will totally read on eventually. I need to get through Wool and maybe get through Red Rising series and stuff like that. But it's definitely up in my top 5 books I think that we've read.
Wow.
Yeah.
High praise for Scythe. And we're getting some people in the comments like Matt and Willa and some people are saying like there were some world building elements that didn't quite jive for people. And Matt was saying that he was hoping that the book would explore some more of this concept and its implications and things like that a little bit deeper. How do y'all feel about that and world building and some plot holes and that sort of stuff?
Oh, it's absolutely not a flawless book. Like, I'm not saying that. I just still really enjoyed it for some reason. So I think I was like very forgiving. Like, there definitely still at the end, there were, of course, moments where I'm like, okay. But I enjoyed the rest enough to like, have like, what is it? The like pink tinted goggles after.
Rose.
Yeah.
Color
Rose tinted
glasses. Hi, Kira. Well, yeah, we've got a couple folks that haven't been in a while, so welcome back, or if this is your
Thanks
first
for
time,
coming back.
welcome now.
Kristen,
Yeah.
were you like super relieved that she wasn't? Because so was I.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing I had a problem with is also how they chose people for gleaning, which is just totally random. Like every scythe is different, which kind of drove me crazy. And what y'all remind me, is it like it's like, sorry, wow. Oh my gosh, that's not helping. It's like the chances of you being gleaned before you turn 500 isn't there like a line about that there's like it's incredibly rare for
It's
you to be
rare.
gleaned before you're 500 or something.
Something like that.
But if anybody
Yeah.
remembers that, put it in the comments, because I don't know, like of course we don't see that part. We don't see people living till 500, and it's crazy to me that someone would come and kill a kid in high school. And I mean, and Scythe Curie specifically looks for people that are over, like that are just done and have obviously lived a really long life. Like, I don't know. I felt like it could be more consistent, and it needed to be. And the fact that like one of Goddard's minions prefers fire, and like, I don't know, even Faraday, he drowned that person. Like, there's a lot of pain and suffering that don't have to be there. Yeah, Kira said, I think they said it was a 1% chance. I'm pretty sure that sounds right.
Maybe it's just because we're in the world, but it sure seemed like a whole lot higher than 1%. Maybe we're just not aware of like what the overall population is. But it seems like people getting gleaned all over the place. So for those, I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I know that there are some. For those of you who are talking about the plot holes, let's talk about what are the plot holes. What you perceive to be the plot holes? We're seeing people saying that like there's concepts that they could have explored a little bit more fully. We're kind of in the background, which I agree. I think that they were kind of hinted at, and that it would have been nice to explore. I don't know how that we would have done that, and maybe it's taken farther in future books, but like there's a commentary about, I think Matt said it, about what what death means to society and what society becomes without it, which is interesting commentary on death itself and an interesting way to look at death, which is fun to explore. Here, I put it on the screen. It starts to point to the idea that death is actually what gives life meaning. And they mention that, there's certain things that Scythe try to hold on to with the concept of death, like Faraday in particular.
Mm-hmm.
Like they say that they're actively trying to sort of remind society and remind each other about, like,
even Goddard and his crew value. I mean, obviously they value death, but like they see that there is no point without that, I think. But I mean, that we saw in the art example that art before immortality versus art after, and also just I guess with the Thunderhead, and like there's nothing new ever, and so what's the point? And he did kind of address that a couple of times, but he definitely could have gone deeper into some of this stuff.
So let's see, what are people saying since
Am I misremembering this? I feel like the Scythe system was only a few hundred years old.
Yeah.
Although I guess that is a really long time when it comes to humans ruining things.
Yeah, definitely.
What?
Probably like from the United States inception till now.
Well, and I think another pothole is like, why are the Scythes allowed to operate completely outside of the Thunderhead when there's so much variability in how they perform their gleanings?
Yeah, you would think there would need to be some oversight over that.
Some structure, and there is oversight, not from the Thunderhead, but the oversight seems so inconsequential. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it seems like they could talk their way out of things pretty easily based on however they
were able to find a lot of loopholes. Like,
well,
in the same way that Citra did in the end, when she was like, yeah, I can do this, but then they have to follow the 7th commandment or whatever.
Yeah. Someone commented that the rule is that you can't have a spouse. It has nothing to do with having a lover.
It's a partner. You can't have a partner. So I think that means like any sort of like valued relationship would be seen as a partner.
Because there were clearly, like, the scythedom has been super corrupt for a little bit.
Yeah, I was glad Highblades and Ocrides wasn't just purely evil. I like that he was being coerced.
Yeah.
Who?
Highblades and Ocrides.
Oh,
big fat guy that jumped in the pool.
yeah.
And almost drowned because his robe was gold.
Esme's dad.
Yes.
Illegal dad.
What an interesting bit of blackmail that was.
So I don't know. When Rowan killed Goddard and his crew, I was completely caught off guard. I was not expecting that. I thought Goddard and his crew were going to be around for at least through this book and probably until the end of the trilogy. So I was really shocked that they went ahead and got rid of him. I think that's really interesting. But what I was expecting, I kind of thought he was going to remove Esme because he figured out like just what she was. Oh, see, Natalie said the rule said spouse.
It is. I just double checked. They're right.
Yeah. And also, clearly, Highblades and Ocrides broke that rule too and didn't have to die, 10 deaths?
He had a child.
Yeah.
Well, it was a secret.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says no spouse nor spawn. So he definitely broke that.
Yeah, that guy, man. Talk about being in somebody's pocket.
Bloop.
And then, the little interesting sort of side quest about Citra being accused of killing Faraday.
I like the someone mentioned the 10-year affair and just how all of that unraveled between Faraday and Curie, and like the fact that the evidence against Citra was actually against Curie, and I really enjoyed that. That was fun.
Oh, you mean the letter?
Well, it was a journal entry.
The journal entry. I mean, yeah.
He's like, she won't stop looking at me. She must want to kill me. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
She's like, no, I just was really intense, and my crush was just like.
Oh, but they set it up well because I mean, she did sneak into Faraday's room and like, put the ring on and stuff. So it was very plausible. I thought at first that it it was like a forgery or something.
I
Yeah,
thought
I
it was a forgery too, because like even when she snuck into his room to touch the ring, that was planned. Faraday absolutely knew that was going to happen. He was waiting for it to happen.
thought it was funny. He was like, let's do it to Rowan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the mass gleanings. You know, I thought
At all.
when we were introduced to Scythe Goddard initially that these mass gleanings were new and secret, or like, you know, that like there was some rogue Scythe that was trying to remain hidden that decided that this was a different way to do things. And then when we found out that everybody knew about these in the Scythedom, and it's just like, yeah, he's just doing it all at once and then having parties. I was like,
Well,
oh.
I will say, though, that it's Goddard who's doing it, though, and he has Xenocrates in his pocket. So remember, and he's the one who like nominates himself to be like chastised.
To call himself out.
And since no one else is like ballsy enough to back it up, so it's like people know. I do think they're like uncomfortable about it, but he's playing the game so well that nothing's coming down on him for it, even though it absolutely should.
Yeah, the whole thing of him calling himself out, like, do you dare not stand up? And you know,
And
it's
no
like,
one's
Yeah.
playing it.
Goddard was such a fascinating character, though, as from Rowan's perspective, because he was so like terrifyingly charming and convincing and like committed, and you know there was he definitely sort of believed what he was saying, even if it was this delusion of grandeur, and like he had a vision, and again, like we were saying last time, like some of the things he did, like I understood in terms of like making Rowan feel pain, and that bizarre ritual of like, you know, we're gonna feel pain. Then they just went off the rails in the end. They went to that Tonus cult. And okay, wait, I have a question, because it just reminded me. Nimbus? What is Nimbus?
Nimbus 2000.
no.
Yeah. Who are those people? Are they like police? What happened?
Lucas had to blow his nose, and he sounds like a dinosaur when he does it. So he
I was
muted
being,
it.
I was being conscientious.
Like the Nimbus agents?
Nimbus
Yeah,
is the Thunderhead cops.
Thunderhead
Matt,
cops.
thank
Agents of the
you.
Thunderhead.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for clearing that up, because I don't remember. Like I remember all of a sudden them being there, and I'm being like, wait, what? Who?
I feel like
what?
they were mentioned in the first half of the book, but only briefly.
Yeah, it was like a second, I think.
Because they showed up towards the end and like had to investigate some things and stuff.
Yeah. How different do y'all think the book would be if Curie had taken Rowan and Goddard had taken Citra?
That's a good question.
Oh
Whoa.
God! Oh man!
Because I really want that story.
You want the alternate version?
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
The
do.
ninjas and pirates.
that would have been.
Kira says Citra would have snapped so fast.
Yeah, I don't
But
think
she's also a perfectionist, and she needs to win. I don't know.
I don't think Rowan would have made it through like Argentina and all that. I think something would have happened. I feel like she's a little bit more cunning and blends in a little bit more. I think, you know, had they been in the same situation, I don't know if he would have gotten to Faraday.
I also feel like Rowan's was a little better at like playing the game with Goddard, at least for a little bit, until he started like kind of like outing himself. But I feel like Citra immediately would have been like fighting back, and
That's
Goddard
what
himself
Philip
would have
said.
been like, I can't do it, I'm gonna kill her myself. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I think Citra would have been much more outspoken about her disdain for Goddard and what he's doing.
Natalie has a great point that Rowan couldn't have been blamed because it said she. Maybe they would have found something else, I feel.
Yeah.
But yeah, great point.
Rowan was very good at playing the game. That's definitely something that he excelled at, and like Citra played the game, but like was being mentored by a much more sort of like honorable Scythe, for whatever that's worth.
The Honorable Scythe Curie.
Yeah, it's the honorable Scythe Curie. So like I don't think she would have had that kind of patience. Katie says, I don't think Rowan would have gotten along with Curie as well. Joe, Rowan with more emotions would have robbed him of his superpowers, and Citra, more bloodthirsty, would just be Rand. Oh, you think Citra would have become Rand? That's interesting. That's an interesting take. Rand was a bit of a psychopath.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, yeah, I can't fully agree with that because as much, yes, Citra does have a temper for sure, and she's a fighter, but Faraday chose her specifically also because of her empathy.
True.
And Rand does not have that. She's crazy and she loves the murder.
Yeah, Rand and the other one were just they were pretty much psychopaths.
Yeah.
This is the question that I had. Not that I need the scientific explanation for it, but like the Thunderhead does know things, I guess, but
I don't know. Is it just because of the Thunderhead?
that's got
I just felt like it was speed. So if the healing nanites are like in your system, so like they're like in your blood. So like if I fell down the stairs and got a concussion, the healing nanites immediately would be like, fix all the things. But like when you're being gleaned, it gets to a point where the nanites cannot do it. Like this isn't a repair situation. It's a start over situation. And so that's why you go to the revival center.
But what's the difference between? Well, yeah, it's definitely not a nanite thing. It's a revival center thing because that's what happens when you splat. Is you go to a revival center.
Yeah,
so
like your healing nanites cannot handle a splat.
When you get gleaned, you just don't go to a revival.
Correct.
I thought the whole concept of deadish was really interesting. Like, I don't know. When I was reading this book, I expected people to be able to die by their own hand or by an accident. And I just thought, like, you just didn't die by old age. So I don't know. I thought that was really, really fascinating because I've never seen that before.
It's just like they seem to have a pretty perfect track record of people not slipping through the cracks and just dying because nobody took them to a revival center.
Yeah,
like that just seems to always happen.
Well, I wonder if your nanites like report to the Thunderhead that you're deadish, and then like the drones immediately come and grab you. Maybe, I don't know. I'm really interested in the science behind that and like how it's set up and structured.
Yeah, so it is fascinating that nothing does slip through the cracks, and even like Citra died twice in this book. Once when
her neck was broken,
Rowan killed her, and then the other time when she jumped off the top of the building, and she was brought back twice. She was deadish. She had to go to the revival centers. Yeah, deadish is dead. You just don't go get revived.
So this book was actually about zombies, is what I'm hearing.
And it's interesting to me.
Yeah, I got tricked into another one.
I feel happy.
It's interesting to me in a world where there are people who die for fun. That the weight is still there. Like when Citra had to kill her brother, and even being told like, don't worry, you're going to come back. Like you're not a Scythe yet. You just have to kill him.
That was hard.
That the world is still conditioned to feel that way about death. Like in a world where like you'd think that more people would be taking these accidents just for fun, or like taking bigger risks with their body because they know that it's not, I mean, obviously it still hurts. Or does it? The pain nanites, do their jobs there too. So like this is a world where people are much more like reckless with their bodies. So like to have a moment still where like you have to personally like render someone deadish, you would think that like in this world you would just have parties where people are killing each other just for fun.
That is Goddard's party. Well, not the party,
but not like permanently. Like people get together and like, let's like the splatting and like that kind of stuff. It's like
Oh
You know,
yeah, I
there's-
bet that is a
like
thing.
like I imagine that there are parties where people together and like stab each other just
Mhm.
for fun. Like, so it is interesting that like it still exists. Yes, I agree. It was gut wrenching.
Please put Kira's comment up.
Which one?
The latest one.
That one maybe.
The ha ha ha, Christy. Ha ha, go Christy.
Every book is an incognito zombie book if you try hard enough.
That's true.
That's
I was
right.
about to say this is not the first. I'm sure it will not be the last.
Talia
yeah.
loves zombies in case you didn't pick that up by her expression.
Who doesn't know that now? Everybody knows it.
But yeah, I just think it's interesting that like it still carries that weight, even if people are used to stabbing each other. You would think in this world where you can literally just get away with murder. Citra having to kill her brother was gut wrenching.
Mm-hmm.
Finding out that Rowan shot his mom without a second thought.
Before the instructions were finished,
Yep.
was kind of crazy.
And the journal entry talks about Looney Tunes, our great cultural document. Yeah.
Phillips.
Roadrunner. And
Can you imagine the TikTok challenges in this world? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Something interesting about this book, the technology has all advanced so much, and there is no social media. Maybe this is why. Maybe the Thunderhead removed social media.
oh, bless you, Thunderhead. So Victoria says, I think the reason against the splatting parties are similar because the first visit to the Revival Center is
true.
free, but each one after that costs. So yeah, that's true. There's an incentive to not.
But there's also rich people, and I feel like they said everybody has enough to live on, and that there's like some financial disparity.
Who was it that said all these people who get who would want to be a professional party guest? Like, was it Tiger? Tiger was the professional party guest.
I expected something bad to happen to him.
I did too. Well, the trilogy's not over yet. So
True.
And but I there was something there was something creepy about the professional party guest. There's something like unnerving about this this lavish party being thrown by a mass murderer. It's something weirdly Twilight Zone-y about it for me.
Yeah, it made me kind of think of the Hunger Games and the people of the Capitol, how it's just very like plastic and.
Well, it's real, right? They're absolutely professional party guests. There are people who that's their job is just to go socialize. I mean, every single TikTok influencer, once you reach a certain level, that's probably part of their job.
That's what Why are we talking about ice cream? I want it.
Oh, because she promised her brother ice cream.
Oh,
after
man.
he
that scene was that scene was so that was like
because the nice revival centers have the good ice cream. They talked about that.
That scene reminded me of the look at the flowers from Walking Dead. Y'all remember that scene? You remember that scene?
Oh,
no, but it made me think of mice and men. Like, tell me about the bunnies.
Good. Yeah, it's the same concept. Same.
I don't like it.
Same thing, except those people died for real.
Yeah. Was anyone expecting that to be the final challenge?
No, actually, I wasn't.
No, but I also didn't really try to figure it out.
Yeah,
I wasn't thinking about it beforehand.
I didn't really think about the challenges. I was hoping it was going to be like a physical challenge from Double Dare, but it wasn't.
You wanted them to pick boogers out of a giant nose?
Yes.
Until they found a flag?
Until they found a flag and won a Nintendo. It's the greatest wish that I could ever want.
You get a little portable TV.
So in the discussion topics post, Philip asked, it's interesting that different regions view the scythedom in different ways. How do we think of international scythes? We didn't see a whole lot of that, but we did see when she was the Amazonian ones, right?
What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Are you talking to a cat?
He's digging in the windowsill.
He's doing up to the windowsill.
There's a bug right outside the window, so he's like. trying to get through the
He's
window. It's
special.
driving
What
me
a
crazy.
crazy cat. Bailey's
Sorry,
over there
I'm
with his
sorry. What
hammer.
was the question?
Uh,
International sites.
Yeah, the international sites.
I mean, if we're gonna go based on reality, I'm gonna assume that probably some other countries might be doing it better, but maybe some are doing it worse.
Yeah.
I like that we got a little glimpse of that with the train scene and the not it's like the Argentinians, and then they didn't call them Brazilians, but I was getting the sense that we were basically in what is now Brazil.
Because their regions
The
now.
Amazonian.
Remember, because we're in region Mid-America.
Yeah. I thought it was really fascinating that they don't follow or they don't work kindly with other or sites from other areas just because people go on vacation there and then
do all their gleaning.
accidentally scythe, or accidentally glean.
Well, they said specifically it was like to Goddard or Xenocrates. They were like, they don't play well with Mid-America specifically. Which, all right.
Those guards, man.
That is also real.
So Katie Dahl said the differences between Faraday and Goddard really struck me. Faraday said, "Never lose your humanity or you'll be nothing more than a killing machine." And Goddard said, "Take great satisfaction and pleasure in this, Rowan, or you'll be nothing more than a killing machine."
What a fascinating duality
I
there.
love that. And I definitely did not notice the similarities in those two.
Yeah.
But also, it seems like their definitions of killing machine are totally different.
Yeah.
Like Faraday's definition of a killing machine is Goddard, someone who takes joy in the murder. And Goddard's definition is someone who's just doing things by rote.
Yep.
And like going through and living your life. Like
Goddard says you got to feel, or
they
otherwise
both
you're a
want you
killing
to
machine.
feel just different things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of y'all commented on it, but Volta's end.
Volta, my man.
That was tough.
It was that was really, really tough.
I think that
especially
was
considering like recent events. Like that was like too soon for me. It was like, oh man, like it got me.
I think that was. I mean, between that and her brother's moment. I mean, I think because it is kids was the hardest part.
Yeah, that was agonizing, and I felt all of his pain in that moment of like what he had to do, but the fact that he did it, was just that. I agree, Kira. Like that to me was the harder than watching Citra have to kill her brother,
because
like
you knew that he was gonna come back. I mean, as bad as that is to say, but the Volta part was tough.
Yeah, that to me was the hardest part of this book, and I felt it.
Yeah.
Chill Argentine. It took me forever to find it.
The build up to that was, I thought, really effective too. Just seeing glimpses of Volta and the fact that he's not completely a monster.
And then it was just too much for him.
Yeah.
And I don't blame him, man. That was
Didn't like it.
But that spurred an epic kind of revenge set. I mean, the whole scene with Goddard in the end was just, and what his head like rolled into the primordial ooze, right? Like that's why they couldn't find his head.
Yeah.
And I loved how like after the whole thing and the High Blade was interrogating him, and Rowan was just like, that's interesting. Yeah, I guess that would happen. Okay. Like he was just so
conversation was so good.
Chill about it. And
then he brought out his trump card and was like, we have an understanding. And High Blade is like, why don't we just not investigate this?
Yeah,
Like,
that was.
I think that's what he would want. Yeah.
Yeah, leave the dead
Yeah.
to be the dead or whatever he said, something like that.
That whole section of I did not expect Goddard to meet his end when he did.
Yeah.
I
Mm-mm.
was like, oh, when it happened.
No, I totally assumed that Goddard, like you said, Christy, was going to be a long run villain, and so it makes it even more interesting now that he and his disciples are out of the way. Who is the antagonist? Like what's coming next? Because I don't know.
Kristen, your comment gives me the creeps. Watch the plot twist be that they're all clones. You can't actually be revived. What was that movie that freaked me out
All of them.
with Hugh Jackman?
The Prestige.
Wolverine.
Wolverine.
Yeah.
X-Men Origins.
Well, Prestige gave me nightmares.
Yeah, that's a great.
Well,
great
Victoria
movie.
was the one that said, did anybody question whether they actually revived Citra's brother and Rowan's mom?
I did not, but I am now.
Yeah.
I didn't think that, mostly because Curie said this is the test that every scythe goes through. Like,
And that's the hardest thing that you'll have to do.
yeah, she said it's the hardest thing you'll ever have to do. But if it's such a big deal for scythes to be true to their word, and this is like an official test to become a scythe, like that didn't occur to me. I was like, I don't think they would lie. And like the test already is really hard. I don't feel like they'd add a trick on top of that. You can't trick you. I mean, when you become a scythe, it's supposed to be you're giving your entire family immunity. They wouldn't be like, JK, except for the one that you gleaned. What?
Yeah. Ha, joke's on you, fooled you.
Yeah, you're
But, you know, according to, you know, they said this is the hardest thing you'll ever have to do. But that's clearly not true, considering it didn't make Volta self-glean when he passed the test. Volta massacring a room full of children seemed to be harder than that. So,
Was
liars.
that a 98 Degrees song? It's the hardest thing you'll ever have to do.
I don't think they were talking about.
I'm pretty
But
sure it
were
was
they?
based on this book.
I think it was foreshadowing for this book.
Don't think it
To
was.
turn around.
No, okay.
So, would y'all want to live in this world?
No.
I mean, if there's a 1% chance that you're gleaned before your 500th birthday,
500 years is a long time.
it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I would say yes, but I think it's hard to say yes, knowing like being placed in that world as I am today. Like it'd be really cool to say, oh, I'm going to be able to learn all these languages and go do all these things and just learn and see and do. But coming from that that world, it's probably be harder because you probably get complacent like a lot of people do and not take full advantage of the time, right?
Yeah.
And so like would I want to get dropped into it? Yeah, it'd be cool to have like let time stop in a way, but at the same time, no, I don't want to be gleaned.
Yeah, Giggle's comment is kind of reflects the way I was like, no, but I kind of do. Like I think there are parts of this world that I would want to live in, but the fact that nobody has any purpose is kind of lame.
Yeah, I think the having no purpose and not being able to like do anything new is a deal breaker.
But there are parts of this that I would gladly have. I think, you know, not having to feel pain would be super cool.
No illnesses or disease.
Yeah.
No poverty, no starvation. There's obviously so many pluses. So it is
Yeah.
really weird that most of us,
We're
but like a
living
ton of
in-
people were like, no, thank you.
It's like Star Trek, but without the aspirational bits. It's like, and you know, the world of the future in Star Trek is. Hey, mark that bingo card, by the way.
You're already saying something too.
is
I'm
that-
like
is that we-
mentally checking.
We've overcome, you know, poverty and greed and all that stuff, but yet humanity still aspires to better itself. It still aspires. There's still a purpose to to things and exploration and all that stuff. In this world, that's all been taken care of, so it's just stagnant. Yeah, death.
We don't.
Death is a good thing, man. It's good. It's good. I
Death
can't.
becomes her.
Tim. I said I could really use some nanites right now, man. Yeah, we got to get better. You got to feel better.
So between Citra and Rowan, were you more drawn to one or the other's character and story?
I kind of had feelings of like when I was reading one of their stories, I didn't want to stop, and then you got another, and I was like, oh man, and then I got into it, and I would go back to Citra, and I'd be like, oh man, and then I would get into Citra's bit, and then we go to Rowan, I'd be like, oh man. I think I looked forward to seeing what Rowan was doing more. I think that was a more interesting development for me, just because Goddard was such a psychopath as opposed to Curie. I think that's just the way I was more interested in seeing what happened there.
Yeah.
But
Ashley said she liked both. They contrasted nicely.
Yeah.
Mariah is Team Citra.
Yeah, I want to know what's going on with Rowan, but I liked being inside Citra's head, if that makes sense.
That's a good, yeah.
Like, I don't know that I want to be inside Rowan's head. I just want to know what's happening with him. But I felt comfortable in Citra's head.
Yeah.
I don't.
No, I think I like them both.
Yeah.
And they balanced each other well.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
Yeah. I felt like there were more stakes in Rowan's story. Like I felt like he was in more danger.
Yeah,
she
definitely.
had the
Than
chicken.
Citra was. She had the chicken?
You said steaks.
Oh.
She had some danger too. Like she
did, especially when she got accused of a crime she didn't commit and became the A team.
I hate where they put the sticker on it.
Kristen said Citra felt more moral, so it was more comfortable. And Rowan's was not comfortable because it seemed like
Talia, mine's not there.
I know. I'm so annoyed by it.
Yeah, I like mine better.
Mine's on the
Okay,
Kindle.
well, I will say, is that the paperback?
Yeah.
Okay, so on the paperback, mine was placed where yours is, and this is now the hardback.
This is like printed or stamped on.
Yeah, I think this is an actual sticker and
Wait,
it was put here on the
Stacy, time out. What are these combination of words you just wrote here?
I had a
Nashville hot chicken caramel
Yeah.
apple. What?
What is that?
What? It just kept burning. What is this? What is this hot chicken caramel or hit
Well,
chicken?
give
caramel?
her a minute to type up her response about whatever that is. But then in the meantime, I have a question. Did anybody else? I was really thrown off by this cover. I had like severe expectations about the look of this. And then, of course, read after the fact that this was just meant to represent scythes in general. When I read like a quote from the author about how much they loved the cover art, and it was just supposed to represent like this was not like a hidden nod to anybody. I was like, man. All right.
It kind of looks like a propaganda poster.
It does.
It does.
Like,
so Talia, I actually had that fact on my. I have a list of little trivia.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. But let me tell you the other trivia there is. Neal Shusterman's favorite character to write in Scythe was Scythe Curie.
I read that too.
And Scythe Goddard was the character that gave Neal Shusterman the most problems when writing the book.
So who was it?
in what way?
Scythe Goddard.
Got it.
It didn't explain. I went to the reference, but it
He just wouldn't stay in there. Get back in the book. No, I don't know.
That's probably it.
Don't pat me. Don't pat me.
Also, there's a movie being worked on.
Nice.
As
Oh,
of
really?
Right?
As of November 2021, the project is still in development and the script is being worked on. And the script is being worked
Pratt
on.
as Rowan.
Oh my God.
No, stop.
Yeah. But Neal,
He's so old now.
Neal said he would want Helen Mirren or Meryl Streep to play Scythe Curie and Sir Ian McKellen as Scythe Faraday.
Ah,
I think Ian McKellen's a little old,
I think so too.
yeah.
but I could get behind Helen Mirren or who was the other one? Death Becomes Her. Yep.
It was Helen Mirren.
Meryl
No.
Streep.
Oh, Meryl,
Meryl
Streep.
Streep. Thank you.
Goldie
Ooh,
Hawn.
Goldie.
No.
Kira, that's a great comment.
That is
Oh,
so-
Yeah.
I could see. Well, just because he's it's Faraday, but it's just really just a rehash of Qui-Gon Jinn. But I could see
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson as Faraday.
I feel like they've been working on the movie for a while, so I don't know.
I want to see
Hopefully we get
Michael
it. though.
Caine play Faraday.
Michael Caine. I want to see Kristen Stewart be Citra.
Aha.
She's too old.
Nashville hot chicken seasoning on a caramel apple.
Oh.
Now it makes more sense.
Okay.
Yeah, chicken
I would
caramel
never
apple
have-
is never a combination of words that I
I've
thought
never
I'd
thought
see.
to do that.
Is it good? I gotta say, I'm automatically biased against candied apples or caramel apples because I hate eating them. I don't like.
I can't watch it if Kristen Stewart's in it. We just our oldest just finished reading the first Twilight book, so we watched the first movie. the other night. That's
What
why
a
it's
time!
It's good.
Helen Mirren is Curie. Oscar Isaacs is Faraday. Interesting.
I think I pictured Faraday as older.
Yeah.
I pictured him as not like an old man, but not a young man.
Like who's the old version of Ewan McGregor when he was in his prime? Do you know the original Obi-Wan Kenobi? Who is that?
Alec Guinness.
Yeah, that's who I see him.
Yeah,
I know
can see
that's
him
not
being
an
Faraday.
option, but like that's who I see.
He needs to be priestly.
Yeah.
And Ewan McGregor, but in like 10 more years.
I could see that. He's very Obi-Wan-y. Yeah.
Priestly. Interesting.
He just
He
seems
seems
like
like a brother.
like a brother, friar, priest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of who I would cast. I don't know. I think I would cast Christy as Citra. And
No, we're too old.
Yeah.
We're too old. Citra and Rowan they're like 15.
They're in high school.
Natalie says Tom Holland would be a great Rowan.
I think I'd make a good Goddard. I could be really evil.
Yeah, we could be like Goddard and his cronies.
Oh no, I look like Rand.
Oh man, wouldn't that be fun if they cast us in
Okay.
that movie?
That would be
They should.
okay. That being said, though, psychos are fun roles to play. So even though she's a horrible human being, if we're just specifically talking about the movie, she'd be so much fun. Absolutely. And
Mark
she wears
Hamill.
a green robe. That's my favorite color.
I don't think Mark Hamill could play Citra.
He could be Faraday.
He could be Faraday. Ooh, Michael Fassbender is Faraday. I could see that.
Yeah, they should cast us as Scythes.
Yeah,
Even
we could
in-
be Scythe.
In the conclave or whatever. I'll be Scythe. I forgot all their names.
Like immediately.
Yeah. Yeah.
Martin says we should do a parody short, Adam.
We could easily do that. Maybe not easily, but
I was like, we could do that.
we could do that. That'd be fun.
Fassbender is Goddard. That'd be good.
Um,
It's just kind of like Magneto, but it still works.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what else? What else haven't we talked about?
Grogu. Shut up, Joe.
For the views. Yeah,
How
Tim
old is Jason
will
Priestley?
buy a ticket if we're the Scythes. What else haven't we talked about? We never really got any sort of resolution on. Well, I guess we didn't really need it on like family stuff, other than like she all of a sudden like her brother's back, she has to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Did we hit all the plot points with? We talked about her escape to South America and her return, Scythe Faraday.
We didn't really talk about the Tonists much.
The Tonists.
That was an interesting
The Great Fork.
touch, just
And it seemed like that was the only religion that there was, right? Because they kind of mention it a couple of times that like there's not really religion, and Totus is the closest they have.
And they like worship a tuning fork.
And that's really interesting, like an interesting evolution. I don't see that happening in real life if we all became immortal.
I think Tonist as a religion itself is just fascinating. Like it was an interesting choice that they kind of worship these vibrations. And it's like
I liked when Citra went to the Tonist to tell someone's brother that their brother had gotten gleaned, and she was so like angry about it. And then I don't know, the clarity that it kind of brought her was really interesting.
Well, weren't they just really dismissive of it? Weren't they just like, yeah, so
Yeah. But then
go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, but then they actually like did no, she got to hit it as hard as she could, and it helped her. Like it like cleared her mind and like stilled her mind, I guess.
Oh yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
That had a physical effect on her.
Mm-hmm.
I think the thing that bothered me the most about the Tonist was the enharmonic of the A flat G sharp. Yeah, thank you, because they could probably also have the same argument with a whole series of other notes that are called enharmonics if you're not a musician.
Oh, no, I'm getting it.
A flat and G sharp are the same note. It's just depends on which key signature you're in. So if you're in A flat major, you would call it A flat. If you're in E major, you're going to call it G sharp. So
I feel like that was understood though in the book.
Spoiler alert.
That's the point.
It was a joke.
Tony's so obsessed with the Beach Boys, the good vibrations. Mariah, is this your dad?
Bill, that seems like a Bill thing.
That's such a dad joke right there. Also, it's good. It's a good dad joke, and I approve and I appreciate.
Also, going back up to Natalie, who suggested Henry Cavill as Goddard, I don't think that would work. I feel like too many women would voluntarily be gleaned. So,
and me.
And Adam.
Adam.
I love the fact that they just kept coming back to this. Like the G sharp or A flat thing, it was like a weird kind of like a Hitchhiker's Guardian style joke that they just kept like throwing back in there every once in a while.
Tonists are just band nerds.
It's true.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Oh, own it, Mariah. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is Goddard. Negan. Negan from
He was in
Walking
Walking
Dead.
Dead.
Yeah, we know he can do evil.
Yeah, he does that lean.
I think Martin Short could be Goddard.
And Steve Martin could be Faraday.
Yeah.
Well, y'all ruined Scythe.
Yeah. And on that note,
Selena Gomez can be Citra.
Oh my God, but Tilda Swinton would actually be an amazing Curie.
Oh, she would.
Mm-hmm.
I'd watch that.
Based on her performance in the Marvel.
She'd be in anything.
The Marvel stuff too, because she's kind of that in the Doctor Strange universe land. All right.
Ooh, you sounded like Todd Alvin.
Chef Adam.
That's what I say. You're like, all right. Okay, Chef Adam.
Let us conclude by saying the things. Let's say, okay, I would read more.
And we're back to weird. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna read more. I'm gonna read more soon.
Soon.
Me too.
Like immediately.
Talia.
I don't. Yeah, Talia's what? How far are you? You're on the third book, right?
I'm in the third book.
Yes.
I didn't spoil anything.
It's true.
Yeah,
I
read it,
already
had spoiled
downloaded
everything.
the second and third books.
And it sounds like a few
Definitely reading eventually.
people are gonna read more. Katie finished the whole series.
Nice.
So
Whoa, Katie, good job.
I've heard rumors that the second book is even better than the first. So you can look forward to that.
Those rumors were from me talking
Yeah,
today at the office.
Those rumors were from Talia today.
Okay, but that's what, so that just to give some clarity, because obviously that is a personal opinion and everybody likes what they like. But yes, I did say I actually enjoyed the second book even more than the first one.
So
But
we
what
appreciate your
else?
sacrifice. Your jokes are welcome.
Yes.
But for September,
It's over
we
there.
are
It's on the
reading a
shelf.
book called
We are.
Clara and the Sun by
Kazuo Ishiguro.
yes.
And the discussions are on September 14th and 28th. On the 14th, we will discuss the first half of the book. That is up to part 4. No spoilers past that point.
Past that point.
And then on the 28th, we'll discover the rest of the book. And the book is a-hole.
A-hole.
Yay, that's it. There you go. That's the book
Um,
announcement.
so
If
there
you
it
need to
is.
grab a copy, you can go to amazon.com/shop/
You can
literary
watch the
waste and
video
grab them there.
that we put up
Okay,
just a
right.
few days
You'll
ago.
hear all of these words.
And it will sound exactly the
Yep.
same because every book announcement video is literally the same script.
You're not supposed to tell them that.
No, if you've
I
been
think they
watching,
know.
yeah. Sorry, I got the video up late. Life is
Crazy.
insane.
It might be
But-
calming soon for you
It'll probably come
guys.
up soon. Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
Y'all,
yeah.
y'all keep sending the good vibes towards Adam and Christy.
Like this.
Kira,
And,
this is a conversation
we
I
we
can have
will
with you.
once they get through their housing changes and everything, we may have a fall conclave of the literarily wasted
Conclave.
team to
Impressive.
discuss some cool stuff. We do have a lot of cool stuff in our heads. We've just been all very busy and fragmented. So more to come there. No promises, but we'll be talking all sorts of stuff in our fall conclave.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We're all gonna wear robes.
Oh yeah.
Together.
Our blankets.
Okie dokie.
All right. Well, that chocolate milk is fully kicking in. So I think that is a wrap on this evening. I will allow this one time for us to end the stream with a tuning fork tone. Um,
Here we go, Lucas.
Should
Are
we
you
get a
ready?
G
You gotta
sharp?
strike
Or do
the
you want to get
fork.
an A
No.
flat?
Here, give
Okay.
me a G sharp and give them an A flat.
Okay, hold on. Where's my piano?
Ah, Windows Defender. What are you doing?
Oh, this will be faster. Hold on.
Oh yeah, just go to the piano. Find it. Middle. Chrissy, hit the button. Play the note.
No, that's just warbling.